waved off after a very, very short kilometre zero. Neutralised rollout, and the attacks begin on flat roads that Tom Pidcock was talking about, actually. It's going to be... Looks around, sees that yellow jersey. Now he's got support. Yates won't ride just yet, having done that big move, unless he goes on the attack. And this is the moment now where Richard Carapaz, does he need to go after Simon Yates immediately like that? Del Toro, just a bike length or two, opens up to the Mexican. Carapaz straight onto the wheel of Simon Yates, and now we have a mighty battle for the Maglia Rosa, and Del Toro comes. And Yates goes again. Attack number 4 this time from Simon Yates. And this time, no reaction from Richard Carapaz. He just stays seated with Isaac Del Toro. This is a gamble, and an interesting one from Carapaz, who refuses to play the same game again. And Simon Yates gets a gap and commits and goes. It looks like he's cracked, and Harper has done all the riding on the climb, and the stronger of the two appears to be riding away. And if he does that, then Chris Harper won't be seen again. 20. The time bonuses, of course, of no relevance to Chris Harper, but he is dispensed, finally, of the presence on his wheel of Alessandro Verri of Arkea B&B. And the Australian is riding away to potentially another Aussie victory for Jaco Alula on today's stage. Yeah. Into the dust, into the altitude, but still with, 4 kilometres to go to the top of the climb?
Yeah, even 4.5 is still a long way to go till the very top. And what a ride by Chris Harper, and that is very...
Sign of that yellow jersey of Wout van Aert ahead. His advantages come back a little bit over the Maglia Rosa group since Richard Carapaz has been riding once again. But there they are, down the mountain and almost out of sight. And still Carapaz is trying to break Isaac Del Toro. And still Del Toro refuses to submit.
Chris Harper to win this stage. Still a long way for him, but let's not forget, it's going to be a long descent now, heading to the bottom of the climb of Sestriere.
Over the top in the gloom, Chris Harper takes the Cima Coppi, takes the Finestre climb and starts to descend towards the final drag up to the finish line in Sestriere. He's got 27.5 kilometres to go, a huge lead over Alessandro Verri, and he just needs to hold it all together. And what matters much, much more, unbelievably strong climb from Simon Yates. Is this the descent to victory for Simon Yates?
Let's wait and see. Is all it takes to bring this home. As you said, he rode perfectly. It's going to be very hard just the last 5 kilometers. So the first 10 kilometers, and here we are. Wout van Aert, he knows what's happening.
Where's Wout? Here's the answer. Perfect time for him to pick the wheel of Wout van Aert, who's been waiting for this roll, a decisive roll. An athlete who, let's not forget, intervened to help Jonas Vingegaard significantly win his first ever Tour de France in amazing fashion. As the lead up, dropped out of general classification contention and then found his chance, left it late to get in the breakaway that mattered, and then his legs did the rest. Chris Harper, by far the best of the climbers in a 31-rider breakaway, is a World Tour winner for the first time in his career. And not only that, he is a Grand Tour stage winner for the first time in his career. Wipes the sweat from his eyes, looks up and can relax and ease up over the line. A winner at the Giro d'Italia, and not of just any stage either. A stage that people will remember for years, decades to come. One of the most famous in history, the stage winner on the Finestre climb in Sestriere. And now the emotion hits home. Chris Harper, the Australian, joins the select group of riders who have ridden to Queen stage victories.
Fucking hell, mate. Fuck. Oh, that's amazing, man. Fucking hell. What a ride, mate. Unbelievable.
Readying himself backstage to step out like Nicolas Prodhomme, like his teammate Luke Plapp, to do something he's never done before, like Casper van Ouden. We've had a few, haven't we, riders winning Grand Tour stage wins for the first time in their career. Josh Tarling being another one, Dan Hooler. Half a dozen riders have come here to the Giro and done this for the first time in their careers. All these riders will be on an aeroplane this evening, heading down to Rome on a charter flight for the ceremonial stage tomorrow.
And these again, stage results. Chris Harper, Sandro Verre, the only two riders actually from the breakaway, with Simon Yates among them, Garofoli, Rochas, Marcellusi and Verona, all the four also part of the early breakaway.
Reverse fortune, and to step out to arguably the greatest moment in his prodigious career. 36 wins of various descriptions, a Grand Tour winner at the Vuelta, but the drama, the setting, the story, the narrative, the character required to do this at the age of 32 for a new team. In my opinion, this is bigger than anything Simon Yates has done in his whole career to date. This is it. To this point in his career, the crowning glory as he pulls on that Maglia Rosa that was torn from his back by Chris Froome and Team Sky 7 years ago on the exact same climb that he used today to sink Isaac Del Toro and Richard Carapaz. A stunning performance and a moment of history goes into fulfillment here. Simon Yates on stage 20 has left it late to strike. Third place on the stage, first place in the general classification. Tomorrow as well, with his team on the front. On the procession in Rome, they'll be the first team to ride when the race starts in Rome, and they'll be displaying that pink jersey that he'll be wearing in the Italian capital. At the end of the Giro d'Italia, there you go. That's the colour he's been after. The red jersey of the Vuelta already locked into his collection, and now he adds this one. And that is the top 10 that we're going to take down to Rome with us. One Australian, an American, two Colombians, two Italians, one Mexican, an Ecuadorian and a Brit at the top of the GC.